Hello and welcome to the Kanawha Valley Hustlers. This is Joe Justice. I am here with Troy and Don. And guys, tell me, what's your hustle?
Good. So we are the Homesteading-ish Conference. This is our second annual homesteading conference, and it's Homesteading-ish, which the ish is an acronym for In Search of Help. So people that want to know more about their food, where it comes from, how to be more self-reliant, take more responsibility for their own food. We talk about that for 2 days here at our conference.
So this has been a 2-day conference, and this is the final day. Everybody's wrapping up and heading home. How was the conference this year?
It was amazing. So year two, I think, was better than year one. We had an amazing crowd. We had amazing speakers. We had a really great time. We feel like this is kind of like coming home where we meet our community, where we meet our people that are really in there doing the thing with us, learning the lifestyle, living the lifestyle, really getting down and dirty about the details of how to do things on a homestead or on a small farm. We're educating and learning all together at the same time. It was fantastic.
Tell me a little bit about the origins of the conference. Where did it come from? This is the second year, so tell me how it got started.
Well, so Don and the Capital Conservation District approached me. I have a small farm here local, a little bit of a YouTube presence. So we got to talk and say, hey, you've got the homesteading thing going on. We've got the Capital Conservation District, which provides all kinds of great information about agriculture and how to get started in the help area. So it's like, hey, let's pair the two of them together and then have one condensed session where you're kind of drinking from a fire hose, but it was one condensed session in 2 days where we had over 30 presenters with all these different aspects of homesteading, and it worked so well last year. It's like, hey, we got to do this again.
So, Dawn, I know with 30 different presenters, I know you're not going to remember them all, but can you give us kind of an idea of what types of things were presented here today?
Sure. So we had everything for beginning homesteaders all the way through seasoned and veteran homesteaders. Things like how to find your land. Like if you're just getting started, where do you find your land? How do you approach that? Like what do you need? Like knowing what it is that you need to get started. All the way to like food preservation. Like so once you've got your land established, we're going to teach you how to grow a garden and how to have a garden in a small space. And they keep saying chickens are the gateway drug in the homesteading world. So we learned about chickens and we learned about quail and we had goats and people here that were going to teach us about all of those small animals and ruminants. All of those things that you need to have. We had beekeeping, we had sawmilling, we had all kinds of different really interesting things that are all parts of the aspect. And not that you have to do them all, but we want to be able to offer a variety because everybody is going to do things just a little bit differently. Maybe they want to learn something a little bit different than someone else. So we just want to make sure that we cover all of our bases.
Now, I feel like there's been a lot of talk and a lot of change in homesteading. Maybe it's developed quickly over the last decade or so. Can you just tell me a little bit about tell me a little bit about the history of homesteading, how we got to where we are today, where it's kind of a common thing.
Yeah, so the idea of homesteading is kind of this, it's kind of a little bit of a misnomer because some people think, well, homesteading, they're not giving away 40 acres and a mule anymore. That's the Homestead Act. But modern homesteading is what we talk about. It's more of this self-reliance on food, growing your own food, just taking some more personal responsibility for it instead of saying, well, all my food comes from the grocery store and I don't really care after that. I don't care where it comes from after I know I can get it down at the grocery store. And, of course, the pandemic really was kind of a wake-up call for a lot of us. And with toilet paper shortage, we saw shortage elsewhere. So the interest really spiked here in the last 5 years, people saying, okay, maybe I need to understand better. Maybe I need to have a backup plan, or maybe I need to have 2 weeks of food storage in the house. So whether they had a couple acres they could work or they were in an apartment, trying to raise that awareness of, hey, let's be a little bit more responsible for our food. That way, if we have a pause in the system, you got 2 weeks of being able to take care of yourself.
And that kind of, it seems like that's evolved a little bit out of, I know many, many years ago, decades ago, there was kind of a movement back to the earth movement and this seems like a little bit of a maybe we got away from that. Now we're kind of getting back to it. What do you think, Don?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that people are really interested in this particular climate that we live in and knowing where their food comes from, knowing that they're offering their bodies nutritional value, knowing that, the animals that they're eating are going to be raised cleanly, that we don't have a lot of extra things that we don't necessarily need. So people are really interested in learning those things and knowing how to maintain those things and be more sustainable. And the other side of that is we're giving back to the land and helping the land kind of reclaim itself. We're allowing the land to come back to life and do what it was intended to do.
Great. So as we're kind of wrapping up here, then I got a last question for both of you. What do you see moving forward into the future? What are things going to be like next year?
Well, we hope to just grow the conference, and we're looking for good feedback from our attenders, because that really helps us understand where we can make adjustments, where we can grow better or get better. But we really like this personal, more intimate venue style. So we have a finite number of people that we can put in this venue, and until we max that out, we still want to keep this type of structure, because it allows for the guests to mingle with the presenters in between sessions and really get a lot of networking. It's almost like speed dating for homesteading, but nobody goes home with a partner. It's you go home with more information and contact information.
Then that's pretty good too, right?
Exactly.
Don, where do you see things going next year?
So, I mean, my hope is that we're going to get to continue to do this for, several more years into the future. I think people are really interested. I think they're still really hungry for this, even though, there's an ebb and a flow in this, kind of particular thing. But people that have come have all been very, very positive. This many people that I talked to, this is their second time coming, because they came last year and they went home and they tried something new and they came back to learn again. And so now they're going to go home and try something else new. And so I think we are doing our part by giving people opportunity to network, to build community with one another, and to build those relationships that are really going to help sustain all of us into our future. So I hope we'll get to do it again. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Looking forward to it next year. Maybe we'll do a podcast before the show next year.
Amazing, for sure.
All right. That'll be the plan. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Remember, this is Joe Justice, the Kanawha Valley Hustler, reminding you to hustle hard, hustle smart, and hustle with a smile.